Let's get into this. Okay, so the heart of your reading is the Four of Pentacles. Nice. But you guys are also, because underneath that is the Five of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles, Four of Pentacles underlying, Five of Pentacles underneath the underlying. That means that you guys are kind of keeping to yourself, holding things in, not opening up, because you guys in the past had to struggle very much to get to a place of some sort of stability. And now that you got it, it's like you're not really willing to break off from that. But the thing is that there's more to this Four of Pentacles than meets the eye. Now, again, that goes back to what the heart of the reading is talking about, which is protection straight up. You're protecting something, protecting your feelings, protecting yourself. There's a certain thing that, this is not a bad card for y'all, especially considering that you're Gemini. And this is, the king as well, the master of the suit, which is about thoughts, communication, logic, seeing things at face value, truth. But the obstacles to Hangman, there's nothing moving, there's no progress being made, and perhaps it has to do with, maybe you have to see that perhaps your perspective, your way of doing things is probably not the only way to do it, and it may not be beneficial at the moment because it's causing things to be stagnant. All right, I feel like communication is a great thing, but the old way of being yourself, Gemini, may not be very handy right now because it's holding some stuff up. Now, the reason I say that is because you have the Seven of Swords in your underlying energy. Perhaps you may have avoided some things, or you've been avoiding something, or you're not interested in something, or you're just trying to get out of fucking Dodge. Now, for some of you guys, it could be that you guys have taken a risk. You've done something a little gutsy, a little bit risky, and I feel like right now it's paid off. I feel like that sort of risk that was taken in the past has sort of paid off. I feel like you're closely evaluating its value though right now. You're trying to figure out whether or not it's totally worth going ahead and accepting it full throttle, because I feel like this is something that's going to be long term, that's going to take a lot of time, and I don't think it's necessarily going to be the most fun of a process, but it has its ups and downs, and there's a reason for this Page of Pentacles, right? It's always going to get you to where you want it to be, even if it is tedious, boring work at the time being. But that's the thing. I feel like they're noticing the Page of Pentacles and how you have to commit to it. That's the thing that's keeping you from being able to move forward. Because in the future you have the King of Wands. This person's very passionate, very exciting. This could be you. This could be the other person. But you could be very passionate. You could be very exciting. You could be very feisty, fiery and stuff like that. And I feel like right now you see this relationship as a bit boring, kind of in this kind of same old limbo thing, and you're like, okay, we've been doing this for some time. Is it going to get exciting? And that's the thing. I feel like this person may need you to commit to them so you can see another aspect of them, and you see another side of where they're secure. Of course, that comes to the same conclusion as yourself. Do you need them to to commit to you before you can show them your side of before you can show them your side of your passions or your my lips are split. Jeez, ouch. Before you can show them your true self. And it could be that it may not be that way. But I feel like for some of you guys, you may see commitment as something that's, that's boring. But I feel like there's something here, there's something that needs to be seen differently. And I feel like it has to do with this sort of Page of Pentacles. Maybe somebody offering you something that you may have to take another risk on. And again, it was a big risk in the first place, and having to be having to accept this Page of Pentacles is another big risk in itself, because you don't know if it's going to actually deliver and the exciting passion, but exciting aspect of it. But I feel like it does with the King of Wands there. He knows how to have the most fun. If some of you guys can be seeing in Aries, Leo, Sagittarius as well, male or female, it doesn't necessarily matter. Now, in your goal and ambition, actually, let's look at this. The Moon, the Page of Pentacles and the Seven of Cups. And I always skip this. And that's just how I read, guys. I just kind of go with what the energies are trying to direct me to. And I feel like the Page of Pentacles, the reason why you're definitely not seeing this is the way it is because it could be too good to be true, and you don't know if you want to take the risk to go ahead and do it. Now, for some of you guys, it could be that this is just like, you haven't really gotten the chance to see through all the craziness. But that may not be the case. You may not need to see any craziness because maybe it's not. But I feel like, again, I think there's a hidden offer between something. Somebody offered you something small, something that's a great value, but to show them the truth. But it gives them an avenue and a kind of like a safety net to show them their true, authentic selves. Which is why I feel like it's saying go for it. The Page of The Ace of Pentacles. Very, just go for it. Commit to it and run with it. That's what you're going for. I think you do want some sort of stability. I feel like you do want some sort of comfort too, some sort of security, that going into a relationship with somebody or being with someone, and well, before you even show your true self, you want to make sure this person's going to be with you, and we work through any sort of weird issues together. And I feel like you guys have that with Page of Swords. Communication is key. Everything's been communicated and clear. Maybe some things that you may not be showing of yourself 100%. It's in the past. But I feel like now you're like, this shows, I think you had some things you may be keeping to yourself, and now it's been exposed. But of course, the true essence of yourself, the King of Wands, the absolute all of you, is what's going to come out. And I feel like that's one scary. Two, you don't necessarily know if you can truly trust this individual, trust this offer. Why? Because you don't know, because perhaps not because you've lied or done something, but more so of like, it's just too big of a risk. It's too much. But the thing is, just like, it's not too much. The Ace of Pentacles is saying, go for it. The Ace of Pentacles is showing that you want a commitment. You want something that can stand the test of time, that can lead to something long, like really, really long term, that can build a generation, for ages to come. Marriage, even something that can lead to marriage. Just when I see the Ace of Pentacles, I'm like, yeah, you starting out as BFGF or somebody exclusively dating. You want to see if this will, if there's any real potential. And make real big steps to making something bigger and better than just exclusively dating, which is like marriage and having children and having great grandchildren. You want to see if this actually lasts you that long. But you want to start something that actually goes in that direction, because you believe that you can make that happen. But you can't do it from doubt, and that's the Four of Pentacles, and that's the Hangman. Well, the Four of Pentacles and the Seven of Cups. But your outcome is the Eight of Wands. So it talks about communication, things moving very fast, making progress. And I don't see this as like, oh man, slow your roll, hold on a second. Not necessarily. I feel like things will pick up because of of your thorough analysis, but coming to terms with what you feel about yourself. Because if you feel a certain way about yourself, right, especially when it comes to love, especially when it comes to relationships, then it can kind of put the hold on, put that hangman energy and kind of pump the brakes a little bit. But I get this feeling that you guys are in love with this person, or do you guys do see something with this individual, which is why you wouldn't even be seeing a risk in the first place. And your Wisdom of the Oracle card comes up as the soulmate card, which is, I told you, this person is your soulmate. Like, you can have soulmates in your life that hate you, that you hate them. But the point of it all is with the soulmate card is that this person is here to show you a part of yourself, or to help you ascend to some sort of aspect, to get you to be comfortable with who you are in some way, because the King of Wands is in the future. But it starts with taking a leap of faith and getting outside of this comfort zone. I know you went and worked very hard to get to this place, Gemini, but staying here is only going to continue this impending, like, perpetual, non-progressive anything. Progressive, energy. Nothing moving, nothing going nowhere. And that's what you can expect with the Four of Pentacles. Nothing to grow, nothing to improve, nothing to get better. But the thing is with the Hangman is that you do have that there. You do have the opportunity to move forward. It takes time. It takes you to realize that you may have to take a step in a direction where you went before that was very hard to do for yourself. Put yourself in a very vulnerable place. But it got you to finally be where you wanted to be. Just as Four of Pentacles in the first place. So it's about really looking at it, really being sure. Like, do you really want to shut this down? Do you really want to stay in this comfort zone? Or do you really want to take an opportunity that may actually be very enriching? You can't tell the future from how it looks, from where it's standing, and by the delivery. You can definitely tell by the act and the character of the person that you're dating. Now, if you need time, I would obviously go ahead and suggest, if you need time, take it, because the Hangman energy is just definitely going to be putting stuff on hold anyway. But I feel like if you need to, right, get to know the person that you're dating, get to know the person that you're wanting to settle down with, right, to be absolutely sure that you can do this. But do it for yourself. Don't do it because you want to see if this person will prove, well, do that too. But more so, like, to gain more assurance, or to gain more, not assurance, but more of an understanding of who you're going to be in a relationship with for a long time. get to know this person, right? Like you've been doing. I have a feeling there's nothing that you don't know about this person already. Not really. Like, I feel like, yeah, you may have gotten some good things, some really juicy details of this person, but I feel like there's something about that person that you still feel like you can't necessarily surrender 100% of yourself to. And I feel like just surrendering yourself to this person, surrendering yourself to this this possibility of something beautiful happening, that's the best thing you can do for yourself, because at least you can say you tried, and you know, whatever. But I don't see any perpetual ending. I feel like I think that you have something really wonderful going in, and it's like exciting and it's new, but at the same time you're like, shoot, I don't know. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Messenger Oracle, see what y'all got. Seek your answers within. So I was going to say, you know, go ahead and get to know the person, whatever. And I still think you should, of course. But the thing is that the reason why you're keeping yourself back is not the other person, it's you. And that's not a bad thing. That means that you can take that power and figure out what you need to do with it to make sure that you can go in the direction that you feel is the best for you, Gemini. There's nothing wrong with realizing that you are the person that is keeping yourself from being able to move forward. But it's also okay to find what you need to find within yourself that will help you take that step in the direction in which you feel most led to be. With this, that direction could be kicking the person to the curb and saying, fuck it, no. It could be, you know, accepting that offer. Either way, your life is your life. You have your decisions to make for you. No one else can do such thing. But the point of it all is to best get a good answer, figure out what it is that you want. You have to go within. You have to see within. And the soulmate energy is asking you to do that too. Soulmates, period, return to us. We help us return to ourselves. They always do. I mean, there's a lot of soulmates that don't, but there's a lot of soulmates that do. And I feel like this is one of those times, because we're in Libra season and Venus is going retrograde. It's about our intimate moments, our relationships. It's about our vulnerability, our intimacy. You know, there's a lot to Venus retrograde this month, and I feel like that's another part. We need commitment before we can consummate, and that's totally acceptable and totally understandable. And I feel like the real reason is, what is really hesitating? What are you really hesitating on? Getting to that true understanding and accepting that will help you be able to take the risks in life that you may not have been able to do before in your life. Maybe you've been missing opportunities, but this is an opportunity now that's totally like screaming at you, and I feel like you know what to do. But you will, by looking within yourself, by seeing the situation from a different perspective from within.